Okay, so that must have been Alexandria as a little girl. So it seems that she grew up in the monastery, and this was her room. And she would play the violin for brother Malvo. However, he is a brother, and yet she called him father. Of course, there's nothing that says that these monks have to be celibate, but if he was, then that would have been his adopted daughter as opposed to his biological daughter. I don't know what the rules are for as far as celibacy goes for these particular monks. And here's the violin. Keep that little piece of music in mind, because we'll be hearing it again. Here we have a book. Okay, here we are. Alexandria Wolf, with some stars and a moon. Dear Diary, I wonder where my mommy is. All I have left of her is this locket. Father says if I am good, I will get to see her one day in heaven. So I guess her mother died when she was really young. But I think that's pretty much all we can read here. Unfortunately, they don't show us any other pages. So you look around here. There's a picture from the Saga of York there on the wall. Sorry about bumping the mic there. I think that's it for Alexandria's room. And let's see, Brother Steve. I think that's my favorite name so far. It's Brother Steve. Let's see what's through the main door here. If all of those were the monks' quarters, I'm assuming that this is probably where Brother Malvo would call his area, his room. Candle, some papers, and a hookah. Interesting. On immortality. Ooh, sounds like there was some study on alchemy going on here. First I'll read the page on the left here. All compacts made with the implementers are dependent upon human agency, or human agency. So reads the binds of the mortal from the first book of York. If thou dost not hearken unto our voices, we will afflict thee with hot and seething fever. If thou dost not keep our many thousand commandments, we will make the lunatic and affected with a heavy spirit. If thou dost not observe what is observable, we will dissolve thee with palsy, so that the enterprises are hindered, and thy mouth stopped that thou canst not speak. Ugh, man, this is poorly written. If thou dost not suffer thy magic to do our will... These implementers sound great, don't they? So this makes me wonder if some of the secrets that the devil taught to Yorick were supposedly the secrets of alchemy, including how to become immortal. Well, anyway, the note here inside the book says, Malvo, I am familiar with the old school of alchemy. They believed that pure love was the fifth element. My father and I have refuted that naive, albeit charming, philosophy. Read this. S. So, was this from Sophia, I wonder? So perhaps this book says that something else besides love is the fifth element. Although that would contradict what we saw in the temple as far as reading up on alchemy. So who knows? Okay, got some papers here. Alright, this one's definitely from Sophia. Malvo, our plans may be falling apart. Alexandria has, I believe, fallen in love with Lucian. You remember, Cain's son? Nothing we do seems to have any impact on them, as if they were under some strange spell. You must put a stop to it. She has come so far with her music. Act quickly, or it will all have been for nothing. So, apparently both General Cain and Sophia were against these two getting married, and she told Brother Malvo to stop it, and yet from that flashback it didn't look like necessarily Malvo was going along with it. Although when Alexandria looked for help, Malvo had disappeared, so I don't know. At this point, maybe he also was secretly against the idea and just playing along. Okay, another letter from Sophia. Dearest Malvo, you will be glad to know Alexandria is flourishing here. She has a gift, of that I am certain. I have given her books on the harmony of the spheres, and I believe she hears the notes in her dreams. Such a queer little thing. I see how she has won your heart, old monk. This is a difficult process. At times I am uncertain. I don't know how hard to push. But I will not let you down. Such strange parents we make. Sophia. So I guess Sophia considered herself Alexandria's mother figure, if Malvo was her father figure. Again, I have at this point, we have no idea whether the terms of mother and father mean biological or not, because I think Sophia is a bit young for Malvo, and Malvo's a bit old for her. But I don't know. We have a mirror. Looks like we can pick up the mirror, and it seems to be magnifying a piece of paper that has some writing on it. I'm trying to read it here. What good is a top if it cannot spin? What use is a key without a keyhole? What purpose is there in bashing a ball? What is the color of fire to a hungry lion? What point is there in bellowing about the heat? And it turns out that somehow that piece of paper is out of focus. I don't know how this works. Maybe it's magical. But in any sense, it looks like that mirror can turn fuzzy things clear, bring it into focus. Some balance there, scale. Another picture of the monks. And here we have medicine symbol here. Oh man, I used to know what this is called, and now I forget. Oh, darn it. Anyway, probably some kind of medical book here. Chapter 7, of which there is no cure. Oh, great. If the condition worsens, if the boils blacken, the fever climbs, and the skin begins to fester and pus, then the alert physique, or oh crap. Then the alert physic, I can't think of how else to pronounce that, must keep a vigilant watch for the spreading of the tumors. If the tumors spread from one quarter of the body to the other, then the disease can be diagnosed as systemic, which is to say, the interior cavern of the body is also riddled with growths various and maligned. If this is indeed the case, there is no cure. Upon desiccated human flesh, the well-working of the physic can amount to no appeasement. Sounds like some kind of really nasty cancer. Okay, so once again, what's important is actually over here, stuffed inside the medical book. Maj 7th, 922. Dear Father, I have investigated all the texts I can and researched extensively your disease. There is no known treatment. Signed, Sartorius. So perhaps Malvo had this kind of wasting disease here. December 15th, 922. Dear Father, you must accept the death that will come, for all of us, someday. Perhaps you would like to be included in my experimental work. There are certain risks, of course. Signed, Sartorius. So perhaps Malvo was desperate for some kind of cure. Augur the 2nd, 924, so about 2 years later. Dear Father, I am encouraged by your zeal in finding the quintessence. I do not mean to be discouraging, but alchemists have searched for ages for the Philosopher's Stone. I have come to see the quintessence cannot be created by one person. So perhaps this is how Sartorius and Malvo decided to work together as far as being alchemists. And the letter continues. There are 4 elements we must master, and 4 metals we must purify. Much as we have found each other, we must search out 2 others who have the will and courage to take on this study. Okay, so I guess Malvo and Sartorius were the first 2 of the alchemists to start this quest for immortality. And that looks like it. Okay. Now let's actually go inside the center area here. More lava that would burn you alive right there. Okay. Can't zoom in on that. Only can zoom in on the hookah, apparently.
I tell you, he's watching everything we do. I can sense it. He's dangerous. And he'll do anything he can to get what he wants. Our only hope of survival is to give him our secret.
Have you gone mad?
I don't want to die.
We can't give in to him.
He's insane.
Must be strong. We can't give in to this nemesis.
So it sounds like at that point, the Nemesis was actively working against them, trying to get their secrets. I really want to look at those papers, but we can't. Alright, I guess we'll just go back out here. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. I don't recognize these 2, but this is Sophia on the right and Brother Malvo on the left. Again, I don't recognize these 2 gentlemen, but this one is another monk, it looks like. And it looks like Malvo's being rewarded with something. Some kind of medal. Okay. Well, all that's left to us for so far is to go down beneath the museum and see what we can find there. So let's head back down. Excuse me. Alright, so that is back this way. Back down these stairs. And down the trap door. Here we have a mummy.
Lost forever. The most sought of objects. The shield of Europe.
We know of this shield. What else can you tell us about it?
As red as rubies was his blood. Lost forever. The most sought of objects. The shield.
Okay. I guess he only has two different things he says. What about this one?
Flames were all around. The perfect stone. Flames were all around.
Okay, so we have little mummy doormen, apparently, for this area of the monastery. Oh, wait a minute. Venturing rule, go left first. Whoa.
You want to play? Let's play.
Okay, so the Nemesis just put a wall of flames up in front of us. But we don't have Yurik's shield, so I'm not going to try to go through. That's just asking to get burned alive. So we want to keep going that way. We're going to need Yurik's shield, I bet. Let's try to the right. And yes, if you try to go through that wall of flame, you will just be burned alive. Okay, there's darkness over there. I have a feeling I'm going to be eaten by a Gru if I go that way. I'm going to need a light source. And fortunately, I have an endless torch. So this should help, I think. Yes. Put it right there. Alright. So now we can see. And we have a coffin. The coffin of Yurik. Ooh, what's in here? Apparently nothing, but if we close the coffin... Oops. Well, you can see that here's the shield, and it's attached to the ceiling of the coffin. And there's 4 gems, the 5th one is missing, but we have the 5th gem. So just put it in. And there we go. We now have the shield of Yurik. And thankfully, we can get back out of the coffin again. Let's see, before we go through the wall of fire, let's see what's down here. Apparently just a bunch of empty coffins. It's a bit creepy. For some reason I have this terrible feeling that there are Grus hanging around down here. Alright, now let's use the shield. Ta-da! Alright, through we go. Here we have a bunch of skulls. And we can turn them to the left and to the right. But we have yet to see what the actual pattern is. I'm still hearing those grooves. Okay, so we'll have to come back there when we have some idea about how to arrange those skulls. So with that in mind, I'm going to look around a little bit more, because I know that there are at least 1 or 2 more puzzles in this area of the monastery that we need to solve. I'm pretty sure we needed to find a coin to put inside that poor box, and then we'll get something out of it. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Just need to remember where. That's just the bell controls. Actually, let me go back to the first area of beds that we saw. Because if my memory seems to be telling me that that's where I found the coin last time. So let's do that. Is it somewhere around here? Ah, darn this cold. No, not here. No, that's all there is over down there. Darn it. Where was that coin? Is it one of these? Oh, wait a minute. We can take these. Okay, maybe I was wrong in my memory. I thought that in order to get those tiles, you had to put a coin into that pour box. But maybe I was just misremembering. Because there's no coin in here, and we can definitely place something in here. Maybe the coin comes later? I just can't remember anymore. Anyway, so we have these tiles here, and you can see they each have a facial expression on them. You can see that this one kind of looks like this guy. So let's put that one there. This one looks like he's mad, and so does this face, so let's put that one there. This person looks completely bored, so if I remember my emoticons right, that should be just kind of like a straight line. And let's see, he's happy, so let's give him the happy face. This guy was waggling his eyebrows, so maybe that one. Whoops. And this is the only one left here.
Mast and runes mark the way!
The monk's long dead. Bells that play.
They call for secrets and hidden power. Above and below the fiery towers.
Where you are hearing the implementers call, discovering time and eternity, nothing at all.